Hi, I'm Elizabeth at A Literary Princess. If you are new here, welcome. I'm a 6-year PhD candidate in English literature with a focus on Victorian women novelists. And as you might expect, I love to read. Today I have my final book haul of 2024 for you, my Christmas haul. So I got books from my parents and my husband, and also a Barnes & Noble gift card from my husband, which I have gone out and bought a book with already. So we'll start with the ones from my parents, and then do the ones from my husband, and then do the ones that I bought myself. So let's jump in. First up from my parents, we have Indiana by George Sand, edited by David A. Powell. This is an edition from Moliere and Company, I think it's called. Yep, which is an imprint of European masterpieces. So this is in the original French, but it has notes in English. It is meant for people who speak English learning French. I have the same edition for Charles Perrault's fairy tales, and I really liked it, so I asked for a few more of these. And I'm very excited to read this one. I don't know much about it. I know a little bit about George Sand because she's often brought up in conversations about 19th century women writers, frequently alongside George Eliot. But other than that, I don't know much, and I have no idea what this is about, and there's no summary on the back. So I guess we'll find out. And then in the same edition, I have Eugénie Grandet by Honoré de Balzac. Again, I don't know much about this, and there is no summary on the back, although there is a very pretty portrait of a woman. But yeah, I'm just excited to read more books in French, and excited to have notes in the editions, because I am having a rough go with The Stranger, which is just in French with no English notes. So I'm very happy that my mom got me these, and I am excited to pick one up soon. Into some fantasy books, we have A Sorceress Comes to Call by T. Kingfisher. I was so excited when I heard this is coming out. I love T. Kingfisher. I think she's a great writer, and she does so many interesting things with fairy tales. And this is apparently a retelling of The Goose Girl, which is a fairy tale that I love. So very excited for this one. It is on my 50 books to read in 2025 list. So maybe during Shorty September, I don't know. Oh my God, look at the end pages. It's geese. Oh my God. Oh my God, I'm in love with it. Oh my God, I'm in love with it. Ah! It's so pretty. It's so pretty. Yay. I'm so excited. We then have The Witness for the Dead by Catherine Addison. This is set in the same world as The Goblin Emperor. It is the first in a trilogy of novellas, and I am so excited. So we are not following Maya again. We are following Thara Kelleher, who is a character in the Goblin Emperor. More of a minor character, but very important to the plot. So I'm excited to continue following him and to be back in this world, which I loved so much. I cannot wait. And then the final book that my mom got me is The Unabridged Journals of Sylvia Plath, which is also on my 50 books to read for 2025. If you've been here for a while, you know I am in my second Plath era. I am reading everything by her. I think I'm going to be picking this up in May for Mental Health May. And I'm excited to continue my journey with Plath because I really, really love her. And now we get to the books that my husband got me. So he initially got me 3 books, but it turned out I already had one of them, although his instincts were spot on because I loved that book, but already had a copy. So the other 2 I did not have copies of, and I'm very excited for. So I ultimately returned the book that I already had and exchanged it for a different book while I was also spending some of my gift card. So we will go with the original 2 books first, and then the 2 that I got for myself with the exchange on the gift card. So the first one is Holly by Stephen King, which, as you can see, I've already started and I am loving. This is a mystery novel following a detective named Holly Gibney, who's apparently a character in like at least 6 other books or something like that, or at least appears in several other books. But I looked online, I went to, Reddit, the source of all information, and they said you can read it as a standalone, although there were several who were like, but the character development, if you read them in order, it's so much better. I'm like, yeah, sure, but I have this one. And I want to read it now, because it sounded really good. So, she is looking for a missing girl, and the missing girl has been taken by this husband and wife pair of serial killers who are also professors. And that's not a spoiler, that's like in the first chapter, so I'm not spoiling anything for you. This is great so far. I'm having a good time. I always have a good time with Stephen King. It does take place during COVID, so I'm kind of like, ugh. But, it's a thing that happened. I should expect it to appear in literature now. But yeah, I'm so happy. My husband chose well. And then the second one he got me is also by Stephen King. This is The Institute. So this is about a boy named Luke Ellis who is taken from his home and then put in a room that is very much like his home, but there's no window. And it seems like there are kids with special abilities, and I assume that the Institute is using them for their abilities. It kind of sounds a lot like, or not a lot like, but it sounds like a similar concept to Firestarter, which I haven't read in ages. So I'm really excited to read this one. I'm also very intrigued by this cover because it's on a train car. So very interested for that one. Then with the exchange and the gift card, I got some nonfiction. And the first is The Blue Stockings, A History of the First Women's Movement by Susanna Gibson. I actually just recently learned about this from a video that Shelley Swearingen did that was, it might have been the New York Public Library's list of top books of the year. I don't remember. It was one of those top books of the year lists by some important institution that Shelley was reacting to. And I was like, ooh, that sounds good. Especially because I'm doing my 18th century novel project and the Blue Stockings were 18th century women. So I'm like, oh, I have to read it now next year. But it's not even that long. Although I'm sure that it's, it's nonfiction, so that takes longer than fiction for me, but very excited for it. And then the final book is The Marriage Question, George Eliot's Double Life by Claire Carlyle. Continuing on with my George Eliot kick, since I just finished my George Eliot project earlier in 2024. I'm super excited for this one. I have had so much fun learning more about George Eliot, and her marital or not marital situation is very interesting. She was in a partnership with George Henry Lewis, who was married to somebody else and unable to get a divorce. So it was kind of scandalous. And I'm really interested to dive more into that. So that is my Christmas book haul. Let me know down in the comments below. Have you read any of these? What did you think? What books did you get for Christmas? Are you excited to pick them up? Have you already picked them up? If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to see more of my bookish content. It has been great chatting with you. I will see you soon. Bye.